Well, welcome everybody. Today is December the 16th, 2018. And there are, 9 days before Christmas. So how many of you have got your shopping done? And how many of you have still got to get on it next week? Next week is my week. I'm a last week shopper. That's just how I roll. And so I like to work, and then I'll take a day and shop. But anyway, you guys, you're in for a special treat tonight. But first of all, before I introduce her, I just want to give a shout out to all of the star consultants that finished up last night. And some of you finished up way ahead of time, but lots of pearl stars, emerald stars, sapphires, rubies, diamonds. I'm just so proud of all of you that did it. And then there's going to be a few of you on here that are like, I feel like a loser. I did not make my star. Well, you know what? Today is the first day of the new quarter. So you know what? We're going to celebrate those stars, but we're going to not focus on what we didn't do. We're going to focus on what we're going to do and what we're doing. And so this new quarter starts today. And do you know that, like, if you did a $150 wholesale order every week, which is just selling $300, you could be a sapphire star. It's really not as much as you think it is. You know, it's less than selling $50 a day. And so I know all of you can do it, but when it's hard is when you've waited to the last second to finish your star. So I just want to challenge all of you to get your 600 in, at least 300 between now and the end of the month. So you would be officially on target if you end December with a 300 from the 16th to the 31st. Okay. And if you have, some of you have already ordered once, but you know, get your key, get your earrings, so you'll be on target for the Consistency Club, for the Career Conference Challenge. You don't want to miss this and go, man, I just missed December. I hate that because I really jammed out in, January and February. So you want to be at that luncheon. And the luncheon is a 600 December, January, and February, and one qualified team member. Now you get the special beautiful earrings with the pink stones in the middle for doing it all 3 months, but you get to go to the luncheon if you do that, and you have at least one team member, new qualified Great Start team member. Great Start is anyone that does a 600 normally in their first 4 months, but for this contest, according when you recruiter, the 600 has to be in by the end of February. Okay, so you want to really get them this month. And I have brought the expert in recruiting tonight for you. I'm excited. I have a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to take 10 jillion notes on every single thing that she says. And let me introduce her to you. You're in for a treat tonight. Okay, so this is the beautiful Executive Senior Sales Director, Katy Goldstein. Katy joined Mary Kay on September 1st, 2015. So you guys, she just celebrated her 3rd year with Mary Kay in September. I celebrated my 33rd year in September. So we're like, I call her my sister daughter, and she calls me her sister mom. So, that's how it works. Prior to Mary Kay, she was a full-time college student and a worship leader at her church. Within 5 months, on February the 1st, Katy earned her first free car and became a sales director. Katy and I also became a sales director on the same day, 30 years later. Is that not so crazy? On June 30th, 2016, Katy earned the use of her first pink Cadillac. Okay, so she earned her Cadillac in her first 6 months, really first 5 months as a sales director. In her first year as a sales director, her first year, she earned her first extended top director trip to Alaska and Vancouver, achieved triple star, which means she got on the court of sharing, the court of sales, and did unit club. She ranked number 5 in the court of sharing and achieved the $1 million circle of excellence, ranking number 2 in the Emerald division and number 5 in the whole Mary Kay nation in 2017. In 2018, this last year, Katy accomplished the $750,000 Circle of Excellence, ranking number 11 in the Emerald Division and earning the top director trip to Argentina, as well as being the number 3 runner-up in the Court of Sharing. Her highest sales and commission in 1 month, now get this, in 1 month, is $30,000. You guys probably would feel like you just hit the lottery if you got that in 1 month. When you sub school teachers, and there's some jobs that only make $30,000 for the whole year, and she got that in 1 month. Think of your checking account and go put $30,000 in there. That make y'all feel good? It just made me feel real good. So we have a lot to learn from this. She is a very wise woman, a young woman, but a very wise woman. I'm so happy to have her on the call. I'm going to go ahead and unmute her. And I am going to turn it over to you right now. It's Katy. This is my beautiful friend, Katy Goldstein.
Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. So I get to talk about my favorite thing, recruiting. And it's so good to see so many familiar faces. I didn't know that, like Allison, I didn't know any of you guys would be on this. So exciting. So recruiting. Here's the deal. I think that we overcomplicate this like so much. It's not rocket science, guys. So recruiting is so important. And I hope that, like, after I get done sharing, you just know, you can tell how passionate I am about this. But here's the deal, if we do not recruit, if we do not team build, the company does not exist. We are not sold on shelves. We don't have counters at Macy's. If we do not share the opportunity, Mary Kay ceases to exist. It is up to us to pass on the legacy and to share the opportunity with women who need it. I think that recruiting on the spot is also very, very important. I hear a lot of people talk about layering, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, because sometimes it will take a couple different conversations to get someone to join your team, or you might have a customer who decides to join later. But the stat that I have heard, which I really do believe is true, is that every single day she does not join, the chances of her joining go down 20%. So if I have a consultant who comes to me and says, oh my gosh, I've got this new person who's going to join, and I don't see the agreement come through, I know that if we wait 24 hours, the chances of her joining go down 20%. So now she's only 80% likely to join. If it's 2 days, now she's only 60% likely to join. 3 days, 40%. So I pretty much lost her at this point, because you've given her time to go home and talk to her aunt who tried Mary Kay and failed, and she's going to look up and find the pink truth. And even though we can overcome objections and tell the truth to her, she's already letting fear get in the way. So recruiting on the spot is so key. Now, how do you do that? Well, to do that, you can't overcomplicate things, because I think a lot of the time when consultants or directors, when we're sharing the business plan, we're overcomplicating it. Therefore, we're losing people. Therefore, they're not joining on the spot. So when I'm sharing the business plan, this is literally what I do. This is what I teach my unit members to do. And honestly, guys, when you teach, if you're a director, when you teach your consultant to do this, and consultants, listen up, your director will never have to do an interview with you. Like, I never do interviews for my people. No one ever did an interview for me. I don't do it, because I'm teaching them out of the gate how to recruit. It's just like second nature. They would never think, wow, wait, you would go to coffee and help me recruit this person? Because we just don't do it. So this is how I share the business plan at my parties. And also, please, oh my gosh, share the business plan at your parties. I get a ton of questions from women that say, do you share the business plan at all of your parties and facials? Yes. Like, why wouldn't I? So at the party, typically right before we do mascara, I want to make sure that they are focused on me. So I don't want to lose them. I don't want to share about the business plan while they're doing anything else, or while they're putting something on their face. I actually ask them. I say, okay, so I'm going to tell you about my favorite thing, but I'm not going to move on until I have everyone's attention. So, when you're all done, go ahead and look up at me. I'll know that you're ready to move on. And I will literally just stand there until everyone's looking at me, because this is so important. So when they're all looking at me, I will say, I typically will tell them about our second appointment that we offer. And then I'll also share, okay, so I do want to tell you how the business works. And guys, I break this down into 3 points. So we're going to pretend that you guys are all at my skincare class right now, and I'm going to try to recruit all of you. So I break it down into 3 points. So this is word for word what I say at every single party. Okay, so now I want to tell you how our business plan works. And even if you're not interested, please keep listening because you may know someone who would be perfect at what I do, and you can be a talent scout for me and help me find that next beauty consultant. So even if you don't think this is for you, maybe someone will come to your mind as I'm sharing the stats, and you will put a star by her name or give me her name and number, and that way I can get in contact with her. However, Mary Kay did say there's at least one new beauty consultant at every single skincare class. So I don't know who it is, but somebody in this room is going to join my team tonight. And then they like poke at each other and kind of laugh a little bit. So you're breaking the ice. And why I say it that way, pause, is that I say, please keep listening because you might not be interested, but you may know somebody who is, because don't you know, like, there are women who come into that party like with a wall up. Like they have already decided that this is never something they would ever do. They're tuning you out. They're picking up their phone. They're not listening. So I say, even if you don't think you're interested, go ahead and listen to the facts because you may know someone who would be perfect at what I do. Then they're actually gonna, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and listen. You know, I'll humor this woman and listen to her. But not a lot of the time, I mean, these women who don't think that they're interested are now hearing about the business and then they're joining later. So that's how I kind of set it up. And once I start sharing the business, this is what I do. So I put the starter kit on the middle of the table or up on the bar. I want them to be able to see the starter kit. So I say, to get started in Mary Kay, you're going to invest in this beautiful $100 starter kit. Now, I think the bag itself is worth $100. Women spend so much money on handbags. I mean, have you like gone to Kate Spade or Michael Kors recently? So I think the bag itself is worth $100. But the best part about this bag is that it comes with over $450 of full-size product. So if you're a bargain shopper, this is a no-brainer because you're going to spend $100. You're going to get $450 worth of product. And guess what? We don't have quotas or requirements. So if you decided, like, worst case scenario, you go home and you realize this was the worst decision you've ever made and you never speak to me ever again, you're stuck with a cute bag and $450 worth of product. Darn. And it also comes with your business supplies, your black trays and catalogs and samples and everything that you need to get started. So then how we make money is really simple. We buy everything half price and then we sell it full price. So, you know, Susie, I know that you loved that charcoal mask. So if you decided that you wanted to buy that from me, you would pay me $24. I'm going to order it for $12 and then I'm going to keep $12. There's no middleman. There's no waiting for payday. All of that profit is mine. And just a couple of weeks ago, I had a $1,000 party. So in just 2 hours, I walked away with $500 like in my pocket. I'm not waiting for a paycheck to come from Mary Kay. I'm not waiting for someone above me to like send me money. Like it's all mine right then and there. Now that also means that your own products are 50% off. So, you know, there are a lot of women who, you know, maybe they just could get excited about getting their own stuff half price and selling to some friends and family. You know, they're just going to work the business really part-time, and that's okay. Now, you may want to do one party a week to put that money in a savings account to go on vacation at the end of the year, or maybe one party a month, or 10 parties a month, or 10 parties a week. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You know, you can simply do this to make some part-time income and get your stuff half price, or maybe you hate your job and you want to replace your income, or maybe you want to make an executive income. Regardless of what your goal is, you're going to sit down with my sales director, or if you're a sales director, so you're going to sit down with me and I'm going to help you create a plan that's perfect for you. And it's okay if your plan looks totally different than my plan. And whether I'm with 2 people or 50 people, I always share this because it has really changed my life. And I'm so thankful that I honestly made the decision to start a Mary Kay business 3 years ago. I took a chance and it has benefited me in so many ways. So that is how I share the business plan. 3 points. So you share about the kit, $100 kit, what it comes with. Number 2, how we make money. Number 3 is partner up with a sales director, or you could, like if you're a consultant, you would want to say something like that. Like you're going to team up with my director. She's going to help you create a plan that's perfect for you. Or you can kind of, point 3 could just be no quotas and requirements. You can create a plan that's perfect for you. So $100 kit, how we make money, create a plan that's perfect for you. That's all I share. That's literally it. I keep it so simple. I do not talk about the 90% buyback. I do not talk about having product on hand. I do not talk about like any of that. I mean, I just keep it so simple because my goal is just to get someone who's interested, because I know I can work with that. So that's how I share the business plan. And I am going to show you guys, my husband and I, so we found the sheet on the pink bubble, and then we just made some changes to make it work for how our team does parties. And so my whole like future area is using this. I love it. Like it's helped us a lot because I was using like the profile card and then the fabulous game and then the Millennium sheet. So we combined everything all in one. So on the sheet, you've got your profile card up here, and it's just keeping it simple. Like there's no questions about what are you concerned with, like, you know, around your eyes or what's your skin? Because some women don't know and they're like, what's my skin tone? Do I have lines here? What's a wrinkle? Like they don't even know. So I keep it really simple. And then you also have room to do 30 names and numbers for your referral game. The profile card only has space for like 15. So you've got 30. And then on the back, what you've got is, I know this is backwards, guys, but you're asking them what products did you love? What do you want to do for your follow-up appointment? And then they're interested in the business plan. So you've got the whole DISC personality test and then questions about like, what would they do with the extra $100 a month? And then the question at the bottom says, you know, would you like more information about the Mary Kay opportunity? Yes or no? So my goal is just to get her to circle yes. She, on a scale of 1 to 10, she may be a 4, she may be a 5, she may be a 6. I just want a yes because I can work with a yes because she's a little interested. So essentially after I share the business, they've had this front side facing up the whole time. So I say, okay, so I want you to flip over that sheet. There's just a couple questions about the products that you loved, what you'd love to do for that second appointment, and then you're interested in the business plan. Now, even if you're just like a smidge interested, I want you to mark yes because I will personally buy you coffee and take you out to lunch. And I've never said no to free coffee. But I do want to tell you, you can be a decision maker tonight. I was a decision maker. I didn't go home and ask my husband. I mean, how often do you go to Target and spend $100 on stuff you do not need? You can go ahead and get your kit ordered tonight. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Again, like I told you, you're going to get an adorable bag with $450 worth of product and lots of possibilities. So I'm going to let them fill this sheet out. Now, while they're filling out the sheet, I'm like pumping their mascara wands and kind of looking over their shoulder. I'm looking at their personality types. I'm looking at how they're answering the questions. I do want to tell you guys a story. Anytime I'm training on recruiting, I always tell this story. So my cousin who recruited me is definitely more of an SC personality. So I don't know if you guys have all been trained on the DISC. We use it a lot in Mary Kay, but if you haven't, she's just more of like a reserved personality type, more like loyal, slow to change, not super like, I don't want to say pushy, but that, you know what I'm saying. She's just more like reserved and introverted. So she was the one who asked me to host a party for her before I was a consultant. So I host the party. Now I'm a DI like off the chart. You don't have to like, if you mention money and making money, I'm like, okay, how else can I need to make money. And I can make quick decisions. So she is starting the party and she says, you know, tells me her eye story. And she said that in her first month, she made $2,000 working part-time while also in pharmacy school. So I heard $2,000 and I'm like, sign me up. Like, if you can do this, I can do this. So I had already decided that I was going to join already. So at the end of the party, she proceeds to sell me some product and I bought the full travel bag and everything, but never once tells me that I can sign up that night. Never once told me I could sign up right then and there. I'm asking her questions. And here's the deal, guys. These people that you're in front of, they don't know that they can sign up on the spot. If you're not in Mary Kay, how do you know how to sign up? Some people literally think they have to apply for a position in Mary Kay. They don't know. Some people think that, you know, they have to like submit a form and wait weeks to they don't know how easy it is. So I didn't know that she could pull it up on her phone and have me fill it out. So I buy product and then I say, you know, I really think that I want to do this. I really think that I want to sign up. So she proceeds to book lunch with me the next day. Now I want to tell you, this party, you guys listen, this party was on August 31st. Yeah, clean his mouth. End of the month. Also, my cousin was in DIQ. Okay, I did an 1800. My cousin was in DIQ, August 31st. Okay, so, you know, she proceeds to book the coffee date with me. Again, I don't know the significance of the end of the month. I have no clue at this point. So we do lunch the next day, September 1st, and I'm literally trying to think of questions to ask her. I don't have any more questions. Just tell me how to sign up. I don't know how to sign up, so I don't know what to do. So I'm trying to think of questions to ask her. I have no more questions. At the end of lunch, I go to leave and she says, okay, well, I'll email you the forms. Okay, great. So I go back to school and I'm in my like evangelism class in ministry school and I'm totally not paying attention. Should have been. But I'm like on my phone texting her saying, hey, don't forget to send me those forms. Wouldn't y'all love to have somebody that eager to join? Don't forget to send me those forms. So she finally emails them to me. I join on September 1st. And later my sales director said, do you know that Lauren was in DIQ that night? And that if she would have recruited you on the spot, got you connected to me, I could have pulled your inventory and she would have stayed in DIQ, probably would have been your senior director. And all of this would look very different. But because she did not push me, she let her fear of being pushed, like, stop her from pushing me. So a lot of the times, like, we're putting our fear on other people. I'm a DI, like I am a decision maker. I know what I want. I didn't have to think about it. But because she is someone who would want to think about it, she didn't ever pull the trigger. She didn't ask me, well, do you just want to sign up tonight? I mean, I can literally pull it up on my phone and we can go ahead and do it right now. So I still joined, but on September 1st and not August 31st. And if she just would have asked, I would have joined. Even if she would have just told me, hey, I have a big goal to hit by midnight, I would have joined and I probably would have still done the inventory that night. So you guys are losing so many people by not recruiting them on the spot. Look at those personality types. If you have a sheet that has the personality types on it, like this is going to help you close this person. So let's fast forward. It's time to close out your guests, right? So I typically will ask anyone who's interested in the business, like, hey, can you hang tight? Like, wait till the end. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. And, unless she's in a hurry, she's usually okay with that. So when I close her, I say, did you have fun tonight? What'd you pick for that second appointment? Let's go ahead and book that. What did you love about tonight? Like, what was your favorite part? And she may start listing products that she loved, but I want to direct her towards the business opportunity. So I'm going to say, awesome. Yeah, I love the primer too. Hey, I did notice that you marked a yes on your sheet and I really want to talk about that. So what questions do you have for me? Is there anything that I can answer for you about Mary Kay? What do you want to know? So we're going to sit there. She's going to ask me questions. She's going to have some hesitations, some objections. And you have to remember, guys, that every objection is her why. Every single objection she gives you is the reason she needs to join. So if she says, well, I don't have time. Well, earlier I heard her talking about working at Starbucks part-time after working 40 hours a week. Listen for those things. Well, I don't have time. Well, wouldn't you like to have time? Well, I just don't know a lot of people. Well, that's when I'm going to show her referral sheet because she probably gave me referrals. I'm going to say, well, these people, and you thought I could book with them, so you could probably book with them. And a person who knows a person who knows a person. Maybe she says, I'm not really a salesperson. I say, great, I don't want you to be a salesperson. The products sell themselves. You don't do you feel like I'm pushing you to buy that primer? No, you just love it and you want to buy it. So I'm showing her that it's not blood and guts. I'm overcoming every single objection. Now, eventually, here's what happens, and I've watched consultants do this. Eventually, you're going to overcome all of her objections. And then you're going to say, do you have any more questions? And then she's going to say, no, not right now. Oh, okay. Well, just let me know if you want to join. Text me. Yeah, let's get coffee tomorrow. No, recruit her. So if she doesn't have any more questions, you have to pull the trigger. So you're going to say, well, is there any reason why we can't just get you signed up tonight? Could we go ahead and get your kit ordered right now? Is there any reason why we can't just go ahead and get you signed up tonight? And I assume the sale, not just with products, but I assume the sale with recruiting. So I'll say things like, girl, you need to do this. Girl, you're joining my team. Let's do it. Come on, girl, let's do this. You need to do this. You're going to be so good at it. You should just give it a shot. Let's just do this. And I say things like that to get her to trust me. And it's fun. It's not blood and guts. I'm not would you like to join my team? I haven't had a recruit in 60 days. I'm not being weird. I'm just saying, hey, girl, just do this with me. I think you're going to be great at it. You should just try it. So I'm making it not feel weird. Now she may have another layer of objections. You may say that and she may say, oh, I just don't know if it's the right time, or I just blah, 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 blah. So that's when I'll ask her, okay, tell me this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you would never do Mary Kay ever, 10 being you're ready to sign up right now, 5s are not allowed because they're a cop out. Where would you be? So she says, well, I'm at like a 7. Okay, well, what's keeping you from being at a 10? Like what would get you to a 10, or what would it take to get you to a 10? I don't know. Girl, come on. You just need to do it. What do you have to lose? That's a great question to ask. What do you have to lose? Like and I also ask, what's the worst that could happen? You get a cute bag with a bunch of product and you decide you don't want to do this? Darn. Like you have to get her to see that she doesn't have much to lose. It's not like she's signing away her life and blood to vow to do 10 parties a week for the rest of her life. Your job as a consultant and as a director is to offer the possibilities. It's up to her what she does with it, right? Like I'm not responsible for what she does with this. My job is just to share it with her, because you could be sharing it with the next $1 million director. You could be sharing it with the next national sales director. How many of you would love to recruit like the next Gloria Mayfield Banks? I mean, come on. Like, I know I would. So when you're not sharing, when you're not pulling the trigger, when you're not asking the question, can we go ahead and get your kit ordered right now? I can pull it up on my phone. It'll take 5 minutes. You're really doing people a disservice, because then they go home and they get fearful and they think about it. And then she may never join, or she may join, but it might be 10 years later, and she could have been financially stable and changed her life way earlier. So never be afraid to push, if you really believe that this is the best opportunity for women, you will push because you believe that it can change your life. So, that's all I've got, Cleta. I don't know if anybody has questions or what you want to do now, but that's what I got.
I love it. Okay, so I just took 2 pages of notes, and I know the question that everyone's going to already ask me. Cleta, can you get that form from Katy?
Yeah, I can email it to you.
Okay.
It's actually on my website, guys. So if you want to write down my website, there's no password. Yeah, you can just go on it. It's Katy, Katy, my last name, Goldstein, Goldstein, area, KatyGoldsteinArea.com. And if you go to the training resources tab, I think it's on there. And you can just print it.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. It was so good, and it's funny because I've heard you teach recruiting before, and I'm like, that's what she said last time, and she's in number 3 in recruiting. And we don't overcomplicate it. And I think that's really, really good. I feel like one question that they're going to ask you, and you may have answered it, but when you're closing this, when you're sitting down with each individual person to close, do you go ahead and write her sales ticket, take her credit card, run her card, get her order?
You're freezing, so I'm not hearing your full question.
Okay. All right. Is it better?
Say it again. Yeah. Right now it is.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say you're closing the sale at the party, and she said, do you go ahead and get her, write her ticket up, get her credit card order, like run her card, and then talk to her about recruiting? Or do you just go into that first, and then if she's not interested, go and get her order? I don't know what you're going to ask me.
Yeah, I don't. I think you guys, you have to use discernment. Like, a really target market woman can spend $200 on products and get her starter kit order right then and there. So I think you have to use discernment. And I personally, like, if she's interested in joining, I just want to get her kit ordered, because I don't, like, as much as I would love her as a customer, I would love her even more as a team member. And chances are what I have seen happen is if I have a party of 5 people, I'm going to sell product to 3 or 4 of them, and then one's going to join. So I'm still getting a win from all those other people, but I would rather her get her kit and then buy her own products half price, personally. Mm-hmm. I've done both, though. I've had women who will get, they're like, well, can I still buy some stuff from you tonight? I'm like, of course you can, for sure. I'm not going to say no to that. But if she marked a yes, I will typically talk to her about that first. Because I know that I felt like, because I purchased a roll-up bag on August 31st. Then I joined on the 1st, and I was like, wait, I could have got all that half price?
Right.
I was a little frustrated that she didn't tell me that, or I was frustrated that she didn't recruit me on the spot, because I did want to join. So I think we're not cheating the system, but in a way, I feel like I was a little turned off by that as the customer, personally. So again, go with your gut. Some women will want to purchase the product and join your team. But if she marks a yes, I'm building an area. I need leaders. I need recruits. So like I'm gonna ask her to join before I ask her to buy product.
Right. And one thing to remember for the ladies that are thinking, well, I don't want to lose that sale. She was fixing
to make more on her as a team member.
Exactly. And with the $50 bonus, even if she wasn't qualified within 4 months, that's like selling $100 to her plus your commission. So you guys, over the long haul, it's much, you make way more money as a recruit than
my cousin who recruited me. So she teed out. How dumb is that? She teed out and then she joined my team last month because I needed one more to finish my gold medal. I know, but she would have made like $7 or $8 grand on me. Like if she just would have always stayed active. So guys, like, again, imagine that person who's sitting across the table from you. You may never become a sales director, but what if she does? And what if she goes on to like be a top director and $1 million director and an NSD? It's silly to not recruit people.
Right. That's right. And, you know, when she's saying teed out for some of you newer gals, that just means that she went over 6 months and didn't place the order. So she was totally terminated where you lose your recruits, actually 7 months. Like they give you 1 month of grace. And so she lost her. Like even if you order on your 8th month, you don't get your recruits back. So you guys, when you get these notices, if you got a recruit, you need to like pay attention to them. Mm-hmm. But what I'm going to do, Katy, is I'm going to just take questions from the directors right now.
Okay.
Consultants that are on Zoom, if you want to do in the group chat and ask a question, I'll ask her. But there's too many people for me to unmute everybody. Okay. So I am going to go through the directors, and then if you guys would like to say anything to Katy or have a question, and so I'm going to unmute Sayla first. Sayla?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, Katy, this is Sayla. Thank you so much, and thank you for making it so simple. I think you're right. I know myself, I overcomplicate it and try to overcome every objection before I really go through everything. So thank you so much for making it simple. It makes me want to go recruit somebody.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Me three.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Loree, I'm going to try to unmute you. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to say thank you so much. Like Sayla said, it's great just to have it so simple, and I love the form. Just putting it all on one page. I love the simplicity of that as well. And just makes things neater and tighter as you go through your party and keeps you a little bit more focused. So I love all the tips, and thank you so much for sharing your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Latrice, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
Hey, Katy. Thank you so much. Okay, so y'all, I am so fired up. Y'all, she goes in saying, I know somebody's going to join me tonight. It's the confidence level, and oh my gosh, I am super excited. Thank you so much for sharing. And we do complicate. It's just like, I think we tell too many things before we get their agreement. It's like, don't over talk.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, for sure. So true, Latrice. Okay, Allison.
Hey, Katy. Hey, I miss you. I want to like squeeze you.
I'll see you at leadership.
I know, so that's good.
Emerald and Ruby.
You know, Katy, you're so talented, and I love your website. And you know, I think as sales directors, you know, we have sort of figured out how to recruit enough, but we want to be master recruiters. And I just hope that the consultants really listen to how simple it is. I mean, really, it's just that simple. It's you taking ownership of your business and just going after what you want. Do you want her to kind of sign, or do you want her to sign? I mean, it's, you know, and I love how you shared it, because it really is that simple. And when you're talking and speaking it into existence, it's what happens. So when you're saying things like, I hope she signs tonight, and then you go to the party and you don't even ask her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I love that you're simple and that it's easy. And will you do something for me though? Will you just share, if you have that person that's a that's challenged in making decisions, what is that coffee? Did you say that? You probably already said it. You book 24 hours.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if she's not going to join on the spot, I will either send her like a marketing call to listen to, or I will try to book coffee with her 24 to 48 hours later. But again, I mean, I still find even with those thinkers, they go home and they think and they cancel the coffee date, or they decide that they just, are not interested. So I think with them, it's really, again, appealing to the personality type. If she's a stay-at-home mom, she might be intimidated when I talk about like leading a giant team of people, or, I don't know, like you got to kind of appeal to each person. So I think that some of the thinkers, they may not join on the spot, but I still have quite a bit of luck with getting them to join. I think you got to listen. Sometimes consultants, what I've noticed, and directors too, we talk way too much.
Yeah.
And it's like we're nervous to hear what she's going to say. So we just keep talking over all her objections. But really, like, if we would just take time to listen before we respond, then we can maybe actually get to the heart of her question or her objection. And then she does feel like she can trust us and those personality types, they need to know that they can trust you. That's really important. So yeah, I mean, I typically will try to send them home with some kind of marketing link to listen to. If they're like, oh, I want to talk to my husband, and say, well, listen to this with him, actually. Put this on speaker when you get home and listen to it with them, or try to come up with some questions. Let's do coffee tomorrow. I mean, I think I've had luck when I've like offered them something for free for meeting with me.
I was going to ask you that. Do you do an incentive like within the next 24 hours? Because to me, when they go,
I do all kinds of stuff. I will do whatever it takes to get her to join. I'm like, what do you want? A free car? I'll give you my car. Like, no, I mean, I'm just, I will give her stuff. So I'll do like, if, and at that personal closeout, you can do that because maybe somebody else is joining on the spot. You don't need to give her any incentive. But this sharp woman right here who you really want to sign, you say, how about this? If you go home and talk to your husband, or you go home and think about it, I will give you $50 in free product just for joining within the next 24 hours. And that will typically push somebody over the edge where they will make that decision. And don't be afraid to give somebody a charcoal mask for joining. I mean, I do that kind of stuff all the time. I mean, whatever. Like, girl, I know you love that charcoal mask tonight. I'll give it to you for free for signing up. Like, let's just do this. So you give them something for free, they're probably going to join because it's honestly like, that's a sweet deal.
And Allison, you and I both have said that, and it's worked so fabulously where you go, girl, you should be on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And it
totally.
who
wouldn't want to be?
I should be on your team.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the piece that Katy shows off really well, and that, you and I certainly have mastered, is confidence. I mean, you've got to find confidence in yourself. And I'm telling you, because if the person, like if you were sitting across from Katy, who's a decision maker and she's ready to go, and you're like,
do you want to?
Katy's gonna be like, where are you gonna take me? I mean, so, you have to like fake it until you make it. But I'm telling you, as soon as you sign a Katy Goldstein, your confidence will go through the roof. And at every party, you'll be like, just sign right here because it's a wrap.
It's not. Get out of my way. No.
Right.
Okay. All right. Let's go here. Let's see who I see on my little list next. Valerie, you got anything you want to say?
No, I think she's covered it all. She did really well. Thank you, Katy. It was great. I like you guys talking afterwards. That just answered the question.
Well, we like to talk. You know that now. So. Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, Rosie. Okay, Rosie, your speaker isn't on. You might have yourself turned down. We don't hear you. She said, yeah, it's for some reason your audio is off. So I'll have to catch you later, girl. I know it's awesome. You can go to the chat box and type something and I'll read it. Okay, let's see. Stephanie, let me unmute you. Okay, there you go. Stephanie?
Hi, thank you. I love how it's just 3 simple steps. The $100 kit, the contents, make money, and let's partner up to plan your perfect plan.
Yep.
You you just shared everything so spot on. And how can anybody say no to that? And I've pulled up your sheet, so thank you very much for offering that for us. And it is beautiful. We
Thanks.
appreciate you. Merry Christmas.
You too.
Awesome. Okay, Miss Jana.
All right. Hey, Katy.
Anna, hi.
So great to see. I can see you, but you can't see
I
me.
can't see you, but I can hear you.
I'm going to see you in San Diego. Okay. All right. So your confidence is absolutely contagious. And that's one of the things that I think that just draws people to you as well, because when you are confident and when we are confident as individuals and we're confident in the opportunity. And so that's something that I see in you, that you're totally sold out on the opportunity. You know it works. You've experienced it. And so that totally comes across, and that builds a lot of trust. And so I just really appreciate that. That's a great reminder for me to just really like walk in level 11 confidence on a scale of 1 to 10. So anyway, thank you so much for sharing everything. I love your sheets. I've used them and they work fantastic.
They do. Thanks.
Thank you.
Katy, you're the best, honestly. And I just thank you so much for taking your time out this Wednesday night or whatever night. What night?
Sunday. Yeah.
Sunday, Wednesday. I go to church both days. I get confused. I taught with Katie's unit on Wednesday. So we're just like, we should do more of this. So anyway,
We should.
thank you so much. And I just want to tell you, I'm just so proud of you. And, you know, I think you're just you're an inspiration, not only to all ages, especially young women coming out of college, and sales directors who think, hey, I can make money this first year, like good money. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I thank you for being consistent. And I wanted to ask you something, and I may have got my facts wrong here, but when your highest unit size, how many people have you had? The highest number?
I don't know. At
one time it was like 400.
So our first year we added 400 people.
400, you guys, in 1 year.
How we did million. And it's all in the recruiting. So I think like something I've been talking to my offspring about is, if you're wondering why you're not in a Cadillac, look at your unit size. Like, look at the recruiting. I mean, really, if you're like, oh, I'm not in a Cadillac, or oh my gosh, I'm not on the trip, or I'm not like hitting my goals, go back to the recruiting. There's, consultants, I don't know how much this matters for you, but it kind of does as you're building a team, I guess. Every new person is $1,000 wholesale on average. That's what I found, at least. And I mean, if I'm not hitting my goals, I always look back at the recruiting. What was my recruiting that month? Our highest month for recruiting was like 46 new, I think. And that's like second to the month where we finished million. That was like our highest month. Mm-hmm. So the recruiting is where it's at. And I'm like preaching to myself right now too, because I'm like, oh, I want to get back to that. Yeah. But that's really the key, is that the team building, because more small teams do small things, big teams do big things. Yep. Always.
Yeah. So I just want to tell you that to encourage you, because all of you that are sitting here, you think about, she joined September the 1st, February she was a director, and then that following year, her first full year as a sales director, $1 million and on the top director trip. So it did not take, like, I think a lot of times if you are a director like me, who's been in 33 years, been a director 30, they're like, oh, wow, that must take her forever. People, it don't take that long. And so I wanted her to come on here because she did it fast. And I want y'all to see someone who is a real life person, and she's just a sweetheart. She's got the heart of Mary Kay. And Katy, you're gonna be a great national sales director. You got so many years to look forward ahead of you to just do it. And I'm so proud of you. I'm glad we get to travel together, and I look forward to us being nationals together too.
Me too, girl.
Anyway, well, I'm going to stop the recording for a second. So